Hey guys, that girl fell right here from Power 98.3, and I'm hanging out with the guy who was pretty much making out on my TV last night.
I wasn't.
Yes,
did I
were.
offend you? If I offended you in any way.
And you were also doing the butt grab.
Listen,
Ladies and gentlemen.
it's just Megan and I are best friends, but when I'm making out with any girl, it's just that's where my hand goes. I don't know where
ladies
else.
and gentlemen, we have Charlie Puth here.
Yay.
So, how has life been for you, man?
Life has been pretty crazy, honestly. It's taken a lot of getting used to all this. I'm a very private person by heart, and now my life is no longer private. So I just try to focus all on the music. And
do people recognize you now, like on the streets, at the airport?
Yeah.
Is it the eyebrow?
It's the eyebrow. They see the eyebrow, and it's actually a scar. I don't know if I told you that. It's I don't shave it. But I'm just naturally wild out here.
No, my niece actually, we were watching the show last night, the AMAs, and I told her that I was going to be interviewing you today. And so she was like, can you see if he still has that mark on his eyebrow?
Yeah.
I think it's going to stay there forever.
Forever and ever and ever.
What's the story behind that?
I was 2 years old, and I was at my neighbor's backyard, and this black lab, beaten black lab, very vicious dog, just bit my face after I pulled its tail. And it kind of sucked because I almost died, and that would suck because I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now. But also it happened so young, too, so my forehead was a lot smaller back then, obviously. But now it's kind of like molded into this cool.
Do you remember that? You were young. So.
Nah, I don't. Does anybody remember anything when they're 2? Is that like a thing?
2, 3, maybe not 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So how was your childhood like? What were you like as a kid?
I was a little bit awkward. I would, my 6th grade was, instead of playing basketball on the basketball court, was me with my big Sony headphones and my Air Force Ones, listening to Nelly Air Force Ones, like big boy.
Any beatboxes.
But learning how to beatbox, like listening to the records, like all these rap records. I was such a weirdo. Coming from a New Jersey Wall Street like town, that's very. I was kind of like the black sheep.
Okay, so Nelly, what were some other hip hop artists that you were listening to growing up?
Well, the first rap record I bought was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Eminem.
By Chicka Chicka Slim Shady. And MC Lyte and Naughty by Nature.
Okay.
And I found out about Naughty by Nature by listening to ESPN's Jock Jams. I got a CD at a garage sale.
The Jock Jams.
The Jock Jams. And it was like all this basketball music. And because I was trying to get, I don't know why I'm mentioning basketball so much. I don't play it all. But I just when that beat came in, it was like I've never my 10-year-old self had never heard that before, so I really got
He's
into
just showing off now with the beatboxing.
Trying to find any excuse I can get to do it.
No, okay, so then you start a YouTube channel, and then Ellen notices you.
Yeah.
You go on her show, she signs you.
Yeah. She had
How
a record.
was that?
She had a record. No one knows that she had a record label at the time. I don't think she has it anymore. But just she wanted to focus on the show. Sometimes those things don't work out, but it's an amazing thing what she did for me, because I'm going to go back on her show. I've been on her show like 4 times now.
Okay.
She's like such a good friend, and she gave me, my first huge push, and I'll always be so thankful for that.
So now you're with Atlantic.
With Atlantic.
You have a huge record on your hands, See You Again. How did this record come about?
So, See You Again, I hadn't even moved to LA yet. It was last year. I walked into the studio, and they were like, you try and write something for Fast and Furious movie. And I love getting assignments because I love to prove myself. And they were like, you have to write it for Paul. And I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't know Paul. And I didn't honestly watch all the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. But I had a friend who passed away. And when he passed away, I texted him the moment he passed away. I obviously didn't get a response back. But that always stuck with me, why I did that. I never really understood why I did that. So, fast forward a couple years later, it turns out that Vin Diesel had the same situation where I talked to him about this, where he instinctually called Paul right away. And I was thinking, I didn't know Vin when I was writing this at the time, but I asked myself, what would Vin Diesel's last words be to Paul? And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. And it came about literally in 10 minutes. It's the fastest.
In 10 minutes?
Yeah, the fastest I've ever written a record.
Can't do anything in 10 minutes.
I can't get up in 10 minutes. I don't know how I did that.
So you also worked with Lil Wayne. Anybody else that you're working with as far as hip hop goes?
Well, Tyga put a verse on One Call Away, which I'm super thankful for because
Okay.
I'm a huge Tyga fan, and I actually got to meet him in person the other night. It's crazy, like no one records records in studio anymore because the promo schedules with all the artists on the roster is so hectic that no one gets any time to actually go in the studio. So, I mean, Tyga cut that verse like a month ago, and I just met him for the first time.
That's going to be on the new album?
Yeah.
When is that coming out?
January 29th.
What's the name?
9-Track Mind.
9-Track Mind,
Yeah.
January 28th.
Yeah,
There it is.
29th.
29th.
Yeah, 29th.
29th.
You're right. Yeah. I was like,
9-Track
is it
Mind,
28th?
29th.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Charlie Puth here.
Thank you. Thank you.